those of you who don't know, when they come also say he did a song with Prince Bite of Buba fame. So let's talk about Mercury Quaye. I mean, the MC, the show host, TV and radio. Which one came first?
Let me say, so radio came first.
Okay.
Radio came first, but you know, it's quite an interesting story.
Right.
So when I was growing up, 16, you know, I started putting my dad had this device, you know, that made it possible for you to transmit video signals from one television to the other.
Okay.
Okay, so it's called an AV converter, you know. So I found my own way, 16 years to be able to transmit audio and video audio signals from that, because it carried audio and video.
Right.
So I found a way to get my friends within a certain perimeter in our area to now start getting signals from me. So I connected the mixer and then the microphone, and they could actually hear me.
Right.
I was playing songs and stuff like that. And I'll go to their room and say, Charlie, you hear what they do, you know, that kind of thing. So I think that's where radio started for me. Around the same time, I used to go to Radio Gold, you know, and then get close to personalities like KOD,
Right.
James Ajenu
At
Boateng.
16?
Yeah, James Ajenu Boateng, Ochiame, Kofi Bajemba, you know, they were on Radio Gold. So I was excited, you know, to be doing that kind of thing. So fast forward, I developed the love for DJing, you know, because I didn't see myself on radio coming so soon. So I developed the love for DJing, and I went to this man called Anabeni Hasford. He was at Bintu, a place in Accra called Bintu. He had media shuttle, and I started carrying speakers and stuff like that, you know. So they had this thing called spinning, you know, set. So I would carry the speakers, and you know, I started seeing personalities like DJ Black, you know, through him, you know, DJ Black, Nia Itego, E Double, and the rest. So, you know, that's how it all started. Then with time, I learned how to do DJing professionally, and I started playing with Media Shuttle.
Right.
So, yeah, as it went on, I also, you know, remember that back in elementary, you know, I would always sing in the choir. You know, I was with the school choir. You know, we won a lot of competitions. So I said, you know what, let me get onto this you know, rap thing. So I started, and then I started participating in Fun World,
Right.
which you had Samini, TikTok, all these guys. I used to watch them on TV, you know. So I said, I want to be there. So in 1999, I went there for the first time, and lo and behold, when I went and took my vibe there, Mr. Akoto, who was the coordinator, said, I like you, but you know, with this guy, his name was Michael. He said, I would want you on this stage, but without him.
Okay. So it was a group thing.
It was a group. We called the Mektan Clan, you know. So
Okay.
we went there and we did our thing. But after that, National Theatre would have me, but not my group. So I had to speak with him and say that, you know what, this is a dream, but it is better, you know, I go on to keep the legacy, you know, than for us to say, okay, we won't because we can't come as a
Right.
group. So I went on, and for the first time in 1999, I appeared on national television. Now, the backstory is that my parents, you know, did not like what I was doing, because I would go out, and in the name of learning how to DJ, I'll come back late
Right.
nights, you know. So my dad was very angry about that. But the day that I got to know I was going to be on TV, I told them that I was going to be on TV.
Right.
And then, no, I did not say I was going to be on TV. I just made sure, because, you know, we would have the event and they will edit it and show it the next weekend.
Right.
So I just made sure that they were all by the television, and then boom, I appeared on TV. So you could imagine mixed feelings for my dad, you know. For my mom, she was happy. She used to, let me say, smuggle me, you know, like, yeah, go, you know, I'll tell him
Right.
this, you know, and I'll find my way. So when I appeared on TV, I was watching my dad closely to see what his reaction would be. And I saw that, yeah, he was getting into it. Then he said, no, but the way you came on the stage, I said, ah.
Right, so it's always been music for you.
It's always been music for me. So that is where it started. So I started rap, you know, and as a young chap, you know, I started get into the realms of, you know, TikTok, our seniors, because they were performing at places in school. So I started following, you know, them, and that is where I started honing, you know, my craft. But you know, I was born a star, you know. So just around that time, I remember. See, it is later that I even got to connect that it was that I have you know, the Inframa. They used to come to me, you know, like I was younger, but they used to come to me and, you know, trying to, you know, for us to do things together. So that is where it all started. And then, see, the story is quite long, but let me try to make it succinct.
Right.
So along the line, you know, I was a DJ, you know, all that. Then I developed the interest in MCing.
Right.
So, but you know, MCing and radio, you know, like presenting is around the same thing. So I went to Paddy's, you know, no, Miss Bell. Miss Bell called me and said, there's this place, you know, the club, you know, and when I see the way because I had started doing stuff for some of these, you know, people because I was attached. So she introduced me and I said, okay, let me give it a try. So when I went there, I did my thing, you know, and boom, it was big. So Paddy's now became the thing, and then along the line, Confidence Aphrodisiac came to visit Mr. Dilabi, who was the boss of Paddy's, and then said, who is this guy? And she said to me that I'm taking you to Afro. So
Nightclub.
Night from Paddy's to Afro. So that is how, you know, I went from Paddy's to Afro, and that is where, let me say, the limelight started for me. That is where I started interfacing with all the huge personalities, because Afro was the thing.
Yeah.
You know, your John Dumelo, Yvonne Nelson, Opon Nkrumah, all these guys would come to Afro. So now it became big. Now DJ Kwame Killer Fingers once came to the club, and then he saw me. So after my session, he came to me and he said, you know what, you are cut for radio, so I'm going to put you on radio. I said, well, this has been my dream, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. He said, I hear it in your voice, we can do it. Monday, come to Choice FM. Choice 102. Choice was the thing. So I'm like, yo, Choice, because that's where I used to listen to George Brown. There was Kofi Dixon,
right.
Fifi Pratt. These were my idols, and I used to listen to them. Even with George Brown, I would record, you know, his intro. He had this instrumentation he played, See You When You Get There,
Right.
you know, by Coolio. So I would record it and I'll try to use it to do my own thing. So I just did not get it. But you know what? It's just funny. I went to the station and here was Mr. Kofi Dixon. A man I held so much reverence for. And I'm told that the plan is for me to fill his spot because he was traveling to the US.
Wow.
Wow, dear, wow. I mean, I haven't done radio before. I have been listening to this, my idol, for God knows how long. And now I'm told that I have to fill his shoes. No, I can't. But DJ Kwame said, you can, give it a try. So I had to go on the show with Kofi Dixon, so you can imagine how shy I would be and everything. But I had to go on the show with him because it was more like a transition.
Right.
So I went on, it was a Friday, I went to him, and after the session, they all said, you are good to go.
So hold on, I just want to refresh something. What was your answer? Like when they said, okay, this is the man you are going to replace, what was your answer?
So you see, I did not get that information before I got to Choice.
Okay.
But I guess that they had their own internal conversations and said that, okay, you know what, Kwame, if you're saying he could, let's just put him on. And then if he goes on and he can't, then we... But when I was told, I just didn't know how to react. But you know, I have this can-do spirit, and it tells him everything I've done over the years. So I did not say I can't, though within, you know, I felt it was too big a crown, you know, to put on. Kofi Dixon,
Right.
Come on. So I went on, and after that, they told me, Monday, this is your show.
One time.
One time. So for all those who have heard me on radio and think I started like a lot of the people, you play at nights, you know, you be a producer, I have never gone through that. My first radio experience was Drive Time, and I have done Drive Time since. So I did Choice FM 2 years, then I had a call from Atlantis Radio. hello, this is Big J. May his soul rest in peace. Big J is calling me. Like you might want to call it luck, but I think that it was just preparation, meeting, opportunity,
Right.
every step of the way. So Big J called and come to Atlantis. Atlantis is the Abrofo station,
Yeah.
and like though it's in Ghana, we have a feeling like Atlantis is not. It's not Ghanaian, because of what you hear and everything. So I went to Atlantis and he said, we want you to handle our drive time. How much do you want? Wow.
How much do you want?
So we bargained.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, in fact, we want you to be on because, Choice FM, because it was, my first step, I was not very particular about what I earned.
Yeah.
I saw it more like a training ground,
opportunity.
so money wasn't the thing. But here, money was the thing. So I decided to move. And we bargained. They said, you are coming on Wednesday. In fact, get on air. So at that time, I had also started reading about, contracts and things like that. So though I was excited to get on Atlantis, I got to the station on Wednesday. My show would start at 3 p.m. So 2 p.m. I was ready, and I said until I get my contract, I'm not getting on the radio.
Wow.
They were shocked because I guess that was the first time they were hearing that kind of thing. You know how exuberant we are. We always want to get things. We want to get into the spotlight. So quickly, within an hour, they prepared my contract. I read through and I signed.
You did all that alone. No lawyer.
No.
You read
I
through
mean,
everything
at
alone.
that time, just getting a contract was exciting. So I just went through. It was something I thought was okay, and I signed. So that is how Atlantis Radio also started. So it was at Atlantis Radio that I now started looking at DJing from a different perspective altogether. So I was like, they are DJs, but when I was growing up, there was DJ Black, there was Andy Dusty, there was Azigiza Jr. But really, all the rest didn't have any recognition, and they also didn't make it look attractive. So I said, I want to be a vehicle to elevate, empower these professionals to take this profession to the next level. And that's how I birthed the Ghana DJ Awards.
Right. So now that you've gone there, let's talk about it.
Right.
I just wanted to be able to delve into your life personally, but because of time,
Right.
I think that we should not.
Sure.
Talk
That must be
Yes.
another conversation.
Yes,
altogether.
definitely. So let's talk about Ghana DJ Awards. You said you felt like people were not being quote professional with what they were doing, and the recognition wasn't there and all that. I mean, it's that sphere has transformed over the years. We have a lot of DJs getting their recognition and all that. So let's talk about why you decided to change that face and then the reception, because in Ghana we know when you want to make a move that is very new to a lot of people, you get people trying to block that dream and all that. So how was the reception at that time, and what was the trigger that made you think that I should change this?
So we start from the trigger,
Right.
and then we'll get into the reception and the aftermath. So the trigger was, I saw DJing as more like the glue for the entertainment industry, from movies through to stage. It's DJs. If a musician has to play on stage and there is no DJ, they need about 8 men, even more, to be able to get all the pieces together to have sound. So I felt that this was something. And of course, also as a DJ, I saw how DJs were treated back in the day when I was DJing more often. So when you had to do an event, though it is the DJ who would provide the music, the treatment meted out DJs here, come and play, but it's not just music. Meanwhile, if I press pause, everything comes to a standstill, regardless how much food you have, drinks you have, everything comes to a standstill. There's no party. So I just felt that we needed to get society to pay attention to one of the most important elements in society that is not getting the recognition, though subconsciously the recognition was there. Because once you start programming for a party, okay, DJ, this, DJ will come in there. But as soon as you get the DJ, then you forget the DJ.
Right.
Like, it's quite interesting. So this was the trigger. So when I got it on, of course, because of the perception society had about DJs, it was very tough for me. Because getting people to even buy into the idea that this is something that must be done was very difficult.
Right.
I faced a lot of difficulty. I had to sell my car. I owed a lot, So at a point, some family members who even asked me, who sent you? Because like you're going through too much. And if it is something that you want to do for yourself, like I was a DJ and I'm a DJ, I could decide to invest in myself. That would be understood. But why are you trying to help these people and you are hungry and you are owing every day, you owe someone and stuff like that, So there was all that I went through, all that very difficult times, very, very difficult times, But as I said, I'm one person who does not, give up, and I always want to see light at the end of the tunnel, because I know in every good thing that we do, there is light at the end of the tunnel. So it's been an emotional roller coaster moving into this upper echelon. It's been really, really tough. Yes.
Right. So we've seen progress.
Yeah.
I don't know. We are the back. We've seen progress. But you putting the DJ Awards together, from the years that you started till now, all the challenges you overcome and all that, do you think that progress-wise, one, from the organization structure, from corporate bodies coming to help, and the DJs availing themselves for the whole show, do you think, as an organizer, do you think that you've made progress? What do you set out to achieve?
Immense progress. Immense, because looking 13 years down the lane, this is impeccable. Great growth. The fact that, I just recall when I had the first call from Guinness Ghana and they said, you are doing an amazing job, we want to come on board. That was it for me. I mean, let me borrow the words of the late Michael Jackson. I said, this is it. So the growth has been impeccable, and I'm personally excited about how I had the vision that I had now is visualized. Like, society can now see what I saw 13 years ago, about this profession and where it could head, because now I receive calls and people want to organize events and they want DJs to frontline. Back in the day when I talked about DJ Awards, they would ask me which musicians are performing.
Right.
But now people call me and they say, we want to hold an event, no musician, just DJs. And this is the picture that I saw 13 years ago, because I saw how the position the DJ held and what it could be, but it was difficult to get people to move along with that speed. But I think that sometimes patience is very, very important, and I've been patient and I've honed this. I have talked people into it. I've helped DJs, I've empowered DJs, I've invested in DJs, just so that we're able to all together bring this, beautiful thing that you see today alive.
Right. So we'll talk about timelines and the rollout for this year's event.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing a publication, yes, in common about Daddy Lumba's demise and all that. I'm seeing a publication that is signed by Fatih Ali Yala Esquire, Counsel for the Fosu family, Baba Jamal and Associates. I mean to confirm it, but this is the publication who has signed it into Namakan the Inaka Hono. It's sad, but they are confirming. My main kind letter and said it for immediate release July 26, 2025. The passing of Ghana's musical icon Charles Kojo Fosu, known as Daddy Lumba. The letter says, with profound sorrow and deep grief, the Fosu family announces the passing of Ghana's beloved musical icon Charles Kudu Fosu, popularly known as Daddy Lumba, who passed away earlier today, Saturday, July 26th, 2025, after a short illness. Daddy Lumba was more than a musician. He was a cultural icon whose music touched countless lives. His soulful voice provided the soundtrack to our love stories, and his poignant lyrics captured the poetry of our struggles, dreams, and resilience. During this time of immense loss, we respectfully request privacy for the family and loved ones as they navigate this profound grief. Details of funeral announcements will be shared in the coming days. So this is, like I said, signed by Fatih Ali Yala Esquire, counsel for the Fosu family, Baba Jamal and Associates. And see, this is the unfortunate release that I have seen circulating. I cannot confirm. Earlier, I made the kind of catch say me who say a Triguan Kofoka. So this is the release on your screen, sir. No, it's in about very sad for the music industry. I don't know, Senior. I don't know if you tried to, had any information earlier when the news was circulating.
I honestly, I saw it, somewhere, but we've seen this time and again, especially with Daddy Lumba. So the first thought that hit my mind is a hoax, and I haven't delved into it since. But I don't know if this, confirms that it is true, and that would be very unfortunate. I mean, Daddy Lumba, we were actually in talks for him to perform for the first time at this year's Guinness Ghana DJ Awards. So that would be a very, very big blow. I still don't want to believe yet, but if it's true, that would be a huge blow to this industry, because I think that Lumba is, if not the most, one of the most loved, legends, in music industry in Ghana. He's the one who showed the way when it comes to even doing professional music videos. Before all these videos that the young cats are doing with ladies and trying to get the great cars.
I mean, I've been
limousine, and he actually showed the way when it comes to making videos look good. He will have the most beautiful ladies, all of that, and I think he's done a great contribution to this industry. I think it is not. I believe. I want to hope it's not true.
We all hope so.
Yeah.
So let's talk about timelines before we wrap up the conversation. The rollout has already started. The official launch was last weekend, and so let's talk about the rollout. What people can expect before the main event.
So this year is the biggest, since its inception. I'm sure even with the launch, a lot of people are saying that, but the euphoria around the launch is like a lot of people's main events, like a lot of. So it really looks exciting. I'm happy to announce that at the main event, even for the first time, the best dressed is going to have a stay at Aqua Safari.
Best dressed,
like the best dressed at the event is getting a stay. So it should tell you that this year we're on a different path altogether. We're going very hard on fashion this year. Our nationwide tour is about to start. We'll have the first one at Corner Lounge, and then we'll move around the country. Of course, we'll be in Winneba, we'll be in Takoradi, we'll be across the country. Of course, we know not all the DJs are able to get opportunity to be on the main stage. So we created this platform called the Pop Fest to offer the DJs the opportunity to also be able to have a taste of the DJ Award stage in other ways. And Home-Based TV, I believe, is going to be rolling out, the road show as it goes along. 29th of November. Yesterday I was on radio. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I was on radio and I played, I premiered Samini's new song, Summer King.
Right.
And then, I was doing my thing, hype man extraordinaire. And then Samini calls and says that, what, I am on.
Wow.
Since I'm on, like the way you are playing this, I'm just trying to picture how it will be performing on the big stage. So I can confirm that Samini is performing this year.
Okay.
Stoneboy is performing. Kwabna is performing.
Right.
Last year I performed on the big stage, and you know the response have been massive. So they want me back on the stage this year. So I am performing. DJ Lord OTB,
the reigning
DJ of the year, DJ Mesh. Kojo Manuel is on, so it's big this year, and we're happy to welcome all the amazing people who have actually followed through this very one and actually are joining us in Ghana for this big celebration. And we also want to say a big thank you to the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture, and also the Ghana Tourism Authority for the support they are throwing behind what we are doing. So if there's an event you want to miss this year, definitely not the Guinness Ghana DJ Awards, powered by Smirnoff.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, see, and unfortunately, because of we are really hard pressed for time. But I mean, home-based TV definitely the rollout on Ekosuniano last weekend, and Kwame was there to see the official launch and all that. And see, Shaynimu say Ekonimunian will keep updating whatever is happening. It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor having you on the show.
It's been you know I always find it difficult to tell these stories because I always have it at the back of my mind that we are pressed for time.
Yeah.
So we'll cut it short. But hopefully one day I'll have an opportunity. Like, like we buy airtime.
Oh,
and,
no.
We don't have to buy that.
Okay. Definitely. So
yeah.
I mean, these are people that we need to celebrate. I mean, paving this huge way for DJs. It's a whole movement. It's a change that he has made possible. And see, definitely we need to have that conversation. Who he is. In his life. And so I mean, keep on watching showbiz today. Definitely.
Just before you say goodbye, I think it's in order that I say a big thank you to the amazing partners and of course sponsors behind us. A big thank you to Guinness Ghana Limited, and of course the Guinness Ghana DJ Awards is powered by Smirnoff. So a big thank you to Smirnoff. A big thank you to Waka Now, to the multimedia group. They've been very supportive. To home-based TV. This is home.
Right.
And you must be based home. So this is home-based TV. They've been very supportive to the movement. A big thank you. Also want to say a big thank you to Wala, Water, to LG, Life is Good. All the amazing, partners and sponsors making it happen. To Aptech, all the partners and sponsors. We say we appreciate you so much. And we'll see you all on the 29th of November. The Palms Convention Center, that's where the action is going to be. So see you there. Make sure you get your ticket. We're celebrating big time this year.
All right, so thank you very much for joining us today. Unfortunately,
hey, sitting inside with this.
Yeah, the sitting.
Then when you sit up there,
I'll be the producer of the show.
This thing's credible. Home base. I mean, I'm impressed. I'm surprised actually.
Thank you very much.
Wow, that's great.
Okay. Coming from you, I mean. Eti nakupon ya adoma ye hwe ni mu say ne papa and aka baby just this week, so she's in Kumasi going to mourn. Ye no details ni nyama we fresh cranty. Nakupon ya adoma ye hwe ni mu say next week obetima asaba be kan sa. My name is Enoch Eduba. Thank you very much for joining us out. Thank you.